pull up a chair, grab a pint or a cup of tea if you're feeling proper. And let me tell you about a lass who was as sharp as a spy's suit and braver than a badger in a tea party. We're talking Noor Inayat Khan, a name that ought to be shouted from the rooftops, not just whispered in dusty history books. See, when you think of World War II heroes, your mind probably jumps to blokes in uniforms, right? Tanks, planes, big explosions, but nestled in the heart of that chaos, there were whispers, secrets, and the silent courage of people like Noor. She wasn't some burly commando. She was a Sufi princess, a musician, a writer of children's stories, and then, boom, she becomes a wireless operator for the Special Operations Executive. Talk about a career change. It's like discovering your granny was secretly a ninja. Born in bloody Moscow, no less, in 1914. Her dad, Hazrat Inayat Khan, was this big-shot Sufi mystic, a musician, a proper spiritual guru. And her mum, Aura Baker, was an American lass. So, you've got this incredible blend of cultures in one tiny human. Imagine the dinner table conversations. Mystical poetry 1 minute, Hollywood gossip the next. The family eventually shipped off to France in 1919, where Noor soaked up all the art, music and philosophical chin-wagging you could imagine. She was a proper bohemian, a free spirit, a proper artist. She went to the Sorbonne, tinkled the ivories, even wrote some kids' books. You picture her, right? Probably sipping espresso, discussing existentialism, completely unbothered by the impending storm. Then Hitler decided to throw a spanner in the works, and suddenly this gentle artist, this lover of peace, felt a fire in her belly. When the Nazis rolled into France, Noor wasn't having any of it. She and her family scarpered off to England, and there something clicked. Instead of just twiddling her thumbs and writing more fables, she decided to fight. She joined the Women's Auxiliary Air Force, the WAAF, in 1940, and turns out she had a knack for radio communications, like a proper wizard with the airwaves. Now, the powers that be, the top brass at the Special Operations Executive, the SOE, bless their secretive little hearts. They were always on the lookout for a special kind of person. Someone with nerves of steel, a quick wit, and ideally, who spoke fluent French. And who better than a woman who'd grown up in France with a brain as sharp as a newly honed blade and a calm demeanour that could fool a fox. So in 1943, Noor gets tapped. Fancy a trip to occupied France, love? Just a little jaunt, bit of espionage, maybe send some crucial intel back to Blighty. No biggie. Her training was brutal. They tried to break her, to see if she'd crack under pressure. They taught her Morse code until her fingers ached, how to use a wireless set that was bigger than a suitcase, and how to survive in a hostile environment where one wrong move meant curtains. On June 16, 1943, she was dropped into France, not in some grand, dramatic fashion with a parachute and a fanfare, but quietly, stealthily, like a ghost in the night. Her code name, Madeleine. Sounds innocent enough, doesn't it? Like a little French pastry. But this Madeleine was about to bake up some serious trouble for the Nazis. Her mission: set up communications with the French resistance and be the lifeline, the voice sending vital information back to London. Imagine the sheer guts of it. Landing in enemy territory, a woman with a blooming massive radio set, constantly on the move, trying to stay one step ahead of the Gestapo, who were basically bloodhounds with very bad tempers. She had to find safe houses, establish contact with people she'd never met, and transmit messages without getting caught. Every tap of the Morse key was a gamble. Every moment she was on air, she was broadcasting her position to the enemy. It was like playing a deadly game of hide and seek, where getting found meant a one-way ticket to a very unpleasant place. And yet, she was brilliant. She relayed crucial intelligence about German troop movements, supply lines, all the nitty-gritty details that helped the Allies plan their next moves. Her work, and the work of others like her, was absolutely vital for things like the D-Day landings. Without these unsung heroes, without the intel they risked everything for, the war would have been a very different beast. Now, here's where it gets really gnarly, and by the way, get this. Noor Inayat Khan, despite her delicate appearance, was reportedly quite an expert at camouflage and evasion. During her training, she often managed to disappear from her instructors, sometimes hiding in plain sight or slipping away undetected, much to their frustration. She was apparently so good at it that they initially worried about her lack of aggressiveness, but soon realized her stealth was her true weapon. So, this quiet, artistic woman could vanish like smoke if she needed to. But even the most elusive ghost can be caught. The network she was part of was compromised by a double agent. A proper Judas, that one. And in October 1943, the Gestapo finally got their hands on her. What was Noor's goal? To serve the Allied cause, to fight tyranny, to use her skills for good. What were her constraints? The ever-present threat of capture, the limitations of her equipment, the fragility of the resistance network. When she was caught, she faced the ultimate trade-off, her life for information. Did she crack? Did she spill the beans? Not bloody likely. Despite brutal interrogations by the Gestapo, despite being beaten and tortured, she refused to give up a single name, a single piece of information about her fellow operatives, not one. That's moral clarity right there. Her purpose was unwavering, her integrity ironclad. She believed in what she was doing, and that belief fueled her resistance against unimaginable cruelty. She was tossed from prison to prison, enduring the most inhumane conditions. They tried everything to break her spirit, to force her to betray her comrades. But Noor held on. She etched her identity, her defiance, into her very being. And then, tragically, on September 13th, 1944, she was taken to Dachau concentration camp, the very place that epitomized the evil she fought against, and there she was executed. A final, desperate act of barbarism by a dying regime. Her story isn't just about a spy who got caught. It's about profound courage, about fighting for what's right, even when the odds are stacked impossibly against you. It's about a woman, a musician, a gentle soul, who found an inner strength that would put most hardened soldiers to shame. Noor Inayat Khan's legacy, thankfully, didn't die with her. In 1949, she was posthumously awarded the George Cross, one of the highest honours for bravery in the UK, a testament to her extraordinary service and sacrifice. Her story has inspired books, films, plays, all shining a light on the often overlooked contributions of women in wartime intelligence. Her life is a powerful reminder of the countless sacrifices made during World War II, many of them by women who stepped out of traditional roles and into the heart of danger. It highlights how crucial women were in the war effort, challenging the old notions of who could be a hero. Noor Inayat Khan's narrative isn't just about individual valor. It's an emblem of collective resistance, a testament to the enduring human spirit in the face of tyranny. Was her decision to join the SOE a stroke of genius or madness? Perhaps a bit of both. But it was a decision rooted in purpose, a deep-seated belief that freedom was worth fighting for. She embodied the core identity layer principles. Moral clarity in her refusal to betray, purpose in her dedication to the Allied cause, and integrity in her unwavering defiance. So as we reflect on her legacy, it's not just about remembering a name or a date, it's about understanding the profound impact one individual, seemingly ordinary, can have when faced with extraordinary circumstances. It's about ensuring that her story and the stories of countless others like her are not forgotten, but celebrated as a vital part of our shared history. Stay curious, stay sharp, and stay just sober enough to remember it all. This was just a swig of history, and if it wasn't in your textbook, it bloody well should have been. And before you go, do a brother fav and like, share and subscribe.